How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Beyond the Ring show. I'm your co-host Sinister, along with my other co-host. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Kano.
Hello out there, this is Kano. How y'all doing? Let's talk about this wrestling gossip and we about to give people the smoking. We ain't talking about the street profits.
All right, all right. Let's just go ahead and lay off on the first topic.
Okay.
That is, of course, I mean lately Raw and AEW. Well, I should say Raw, WWE and AEW has been disappointing lately because ever since WrestleMania, but of course we'll discuss more of that in a bit, but. However, the post, Mania and of course the latest Dynamite, it's just been, lackluster. It's been like piss poor. It's like what's going on with the writing and saying like these angles and stuff except for a few of them were good, but the rest has just been lackluster. It's been trash. It's like what's going on? Like who's doing the writing? What are your thoughts about that?
Honestly, man, WWE like ever since after WrestleMania, WWE has been a dumpster fire, if I may say, in a way, because usually after WrestleMania, they usually showcase new superstars on the horizon. Like there was rumors about Carmella Hayes getting called up. Then we
Yeah,
still haven't heard anything about Cameron Grimes being called up to the main roster, which he was supposed to go to Raw. I honestly just feel like it's Vince McMahon's doing, and since he's been back with creative control, it's been a disaster. It's been a major disaster where they have to hold that down. Now, as far as AEW is concerned, AEW, I feel like the honeymoon phase is actually over at this point. There's been a lot of bad booking. They got too many people on their roster that hasn't been used. The championships hasn't been defended like that. There's just so many things that's been wrong. Like the main problem that I see with AEW is there's not no story. There isn't any storytelling within each of the wrestlers. Like, for example, you see Paige, aka Saraya, then you got Ruby Soho and Tony Storm.
right.
They started the group the Outsiders, but what did
Outcast.
yeah, with Outcast. What is the story behind that? Like, you don't have a story behind that faction. You see that the main rivalry in AEW is between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite with
Yep.
Hangman Adam Page, but there's really not no concrete story of what's behind that. That's the problem with AEW. It's a lack of storytelling, whereas on WWE it's more storytelling, but you could tell with WWE it's becoming more stellar, and the creative writing and the changes has become worse. And I put blame towards Vince McMahon, whereas he still is lost within the shovel, and he doesn't have an identity of what's really going on when it comes to wrestling.
Exactly, because I mean, yeah, because he's waiting for that buyout with the Endeavor Group, because I mean, yeah, it was like ever since that Raw is like, I mean, what's going on? If Bill had Vince's name written all over, it's like, I mean, what's going on? See, like Triple H is, you know, under him, it was running great, stuff like that, because creative wise and everybody respected. But ever since Vince slithered his way back in, it's been going downhill ever since, and the morale's been low. It's just like it just feel like it's not going anywhere. And then now they, of course, Endeavor's now merging with having WWE being sold to them.
Mm-hmm,
So Endeavor may have WWE and UFC. Of course,
mm-hmm,
UFC is still gonna be run by Dana White because we ain't worried about UFC. It's like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. So I'm
mm-hmm.
all the controversy over there is basically Dana White, with him slapping his wife and stuff like that, and like people felt like there was no accountability there. It's like he gave some BS apology and stuff like that. It's like, that's typical Dana White, not to be surprised, but more on the WWE side, like, because Ari Emanuel, he's gonna be the head honcho in charge. He's the one who has the ultimate power, the ultimate control. Vince,
Mm-hmm.
he only has little control, what he can do. I mean, he can run WWE just like that, but as far as like absolute control and stuff like that, and it's like, nope. Ari Emanuel's your daddy now, Vince. So,
Now, I honestly think Vince McMahon he might end up stepping down from WWE after that merger goes through because he's going to cash out $128 million.
right.
So it is, and then then after the merger actually happens, they want to bring Stephanie McMahon back on. So if that's the case, then if Vince McMahon actually steps down, then it will still be controlled on the levels of Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan, and Triple H will continue to handle the creative aspects of it. Now, if this all goes to fruition, the Morale going to end up rising back up in more of a happy space. The problem that I see what's going on right now, Vince McMahon still don't have touch of what's going on in wrestling. He still got that mindset that he needs to really change that mindset. If he doesn't change that mindset, people are going to ask for their releases more ways than one. And in AEW is not that much better. There's a lot of wrestlers over there that's really not happy when it comes to the whole ordeal with the wrestlers. A lot of wrestlers are not being utilized, like Andrade, Miro. Like, I didn't understand a lot of different things of why Warlow, he's not happy about it. There's a lot of wrestlers that's not happy over there at AEW neither. So it don't even matter. Right now, Impact Wrestling, people are happier over there. And same thing with MLW, that people are more happy over there. And then Game Changing Wrestling, people are happy over there. It's just when it comes to the two big promotions with WWE and AEW, people are actually not happy in neither of those promotions.
Exactly. It's like it's grown too big, too big for britches. Like, I mean, yeah, like the big two, like the rosters are too big. It's like not everybody's gonna get screen time. Even if they do get screen time, either gonna end up being job enhancers, aka jobbers, or not gonna have any screen time at all. It's like what's the point of paying this guy sitting at home doing nothing? You might as well just cut him loose. Like, I mean, like you said, I say a lot of wrestlers probably want the releases. So you know what? Look, I don't like the direction of my character. I feel like I'm not going to be utilized here. What's the point of me staying here? You might as well just cut me loose. But knowing like each of the companies, WWE and AEW, because they're trying to do everything they can, like either to keep certain people around or just let everybody else go.
But I got a strong feeling the OC with AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and stuff, and Carl Anderson, and Michin. Yeah. I think when AJ Styles come back from his injury, they're going to get a strong push. They definitely going to get a strong push because they didn't bring the OC back together for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely going to get a push this year with Mitch and all of them back together. So I could actually see that happening. It's just that when it comes to other factions like Imperium and the Bloodline, I'm feeling like the Bloodline storyline with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is getting kind of stale.
It is. It's the same thing every week. They just come out every week. They just sneak attack. They just, bum rush. They super kick, get Samoan spike, someone every week. Like, they keep burying everybody that they face. It's like,
and
look on AEW, got the Blackpool Combat Club. They're doing the same thing. Just like whoever they face, like they take them down, they bloody them up, and it's like they just want to sit there and, show how strong they are. Like, I mean, I get it in that aspect. You want to show how strong you are, but come on, doing it consistently week after week, it gets tiresome.
Facts. And honestly,
Judgment Day, and then with them.
But honestly, I ain't gonna lie to Judgment Day though. They actually are a pretty good faction. That's a pretty good thing going on. That's like that in the Bloodline is like the two hottest factions in WWE right now. So what needs to go down is they need to build a couple more factions. You know what I'm saying? That could be suitable on that level. That's why I say the OC could be another top tier faction in the WWE on the babyface side. In the Hurt Business, they could be a top tier faction on the babyface side too. I think honestly the Judgment Day, like what we're gonna talk about later we're gonna talk about it later with the draft, but the factions need to stay on one brand instead of being put on both brands, honestly. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, let's go back to AEW for a minute. Like, okay, if you look at AEW, like what we were saying earlier about what is the whole ordeal or what is the actual problem with AEW is, like I said, there's storytelling. They got too many factions over there. A lot of wrestlers are getting basically like with Ethan Page. Ethan Page been needed a push, and you know what I'm saying, in that world championship realm. You feel me? He needs either the TNT championship or the AEW championship put on him. That's why I said the problem with AEW is also is the lack of championships on their show. You feel me?
Right.
Because they only got the TNT Championship, the International Championship, which like Orange Cassidy, that's a good championship, but it's not great, honestly.
Right.
Like I can't say nothing really good about that championship. It's just like they got about how many AEW championships there? They only got about the TBS championship for the women. They got that.
They
Yo,
have
all right.
AEW Women's Championship. The women only have 2. That's it.
Yeah, they need an AEW Tag Team Championship for the women.
Exactly. And then, yeah, because on the AEW side, of course, you got the titles over there. But now, see, here's the thing. Now there was talk about a possibly roster split because you got AEW and Ring of Honor. It's like that's a big old mess that Tony's gonna have that's a headache that he has to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Well, there does need to be a roster split based off the fact though AEW is AEW and Ring of Honor is Ring of Honor.
Right.
Like Ring of Honor needs to stay where it's at, and that needs to be separate because people will get lost in the shuffle of like what's really going on when it comes to AEW. Like if you look at Mark Briscoe, right?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. If you look at Mark Briscoe, he signed the Ring of. Well, he actually signed the AEW too, though.
Yeah.
But he should be on the AEW roster competing for singles championships now, instead of being in Ring of Honor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think one team that really needs a real big push and not being jobbers is the Dark Order.
Yes.
They need a legitimate push. And Hangman Adam Page needs to lead the anchor for the Dark Order. Because after Brody Lee passed away, they've been lost in the shuffle and they need a new leader. And I think Hangman Adam Page should be that leader for the Dark Order.
Yeah, I agree because it gets tired of seeing, keep dropping to the BCC every week. And it's like, Adam Page is the only one who's actually got, a winning over Moxley, but the rest of the crew always keep dropping to everybody else.
Absolutely. So the thing about it is like AEW just is all over the place. The honeymoon phase is over. And I'm just honestly like, even when I was watching Dynamite this past week, honestly, it was just lackluster. I wasn't sold on it. It was very lackluster, and it was just kind of like it's like deja vu. The scenario kept repeating itself over and over again.
I mean, there's one thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, MJF, I love him as a heel. Like he's like the top heel right now. But right now, who's the top babyface? I mean, you got Jungle Boy, you got Darby Allin, then you have Sammy Guevara all fighting for the championship. But of course, Sammy Guevara is a heel. Like the other 2 guys are faces. I was but there's no directions. Like who's the top face on in AEW?
Yeah, but with those 4, they was already named the 4 pillars of AEW, so they all originals. So yeah. I think that's a good look that they can make that into a fatal 4-way matchup at Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
that would be a good situation right then and there. But when it comes down to top face, they definitely need a top face, and I'm looking at Kenny Omega, and they should be the top face.
Right, but of course, like him and the Young Bucks, of course, feuding with BCC. So basically, they're gonna be the top heel faction, on the AEW side. But before we discussing more of that in a bit, but I want to talk about Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, it's nothing against him. He's doing great on his own, but the whole QT Marshall thing is like that's lame and dumb. I was like, and that QT TV trying to make it's like the all-out knockoff TMZ is like, man, it's just a waste of TV time.
That's a waste of TV time, and it's basically unoriginal.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to hold a massive L for that one because honestly, that was just people not sold on that. And Powerhouse Hobbs, to me, he's not a good heel. His heel-ish identity that he wants to do is really not. No, it's terrible. He's not a good heel.
Exactly. It's like Wardlow's the only big guy he's ever beaten, like someone from the main roster, but everybody else is just jobbers that he's beaten just to show like, oh yeah, I'm the champ. Like that's like the whole paper champion thing, like what Rocky did.
And then look at Hook. Like Hook, you know what I'm saying? you don't even know what type of rivalry he's having like that. You feel me?
Right.
Like you
He's
see
with
the
the firm. That's it.
like Hooker needs the actual legitimate rival.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they want to use that FTW championship properly, they need to have a legit rival. Like Orange Cassidy, he don't have a legit rival right now. He just fighting other wrestlers just to fight. They don't have no rivalries.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even that crew, best friends, they need to have tag team titles, a tag team title shot. Not only that, Chris Statlander, when she come back, she needs to get in the rankings to get a title shot. You feel me? Like her and Jade Cargill, they can be a legit competitive rivalry right there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I'd rather see Jade Cargill keep the title on her because she's good at what she do. But
Yeah.
it's like with her reign as the champion, it's becoming stale.
Yeah, because like I said, she's the female Roman Reigns. But she don't
Exactly.
need help beating anybody. I mean, she can take care of business herself, but right now she's the female Roman Reigns. Like basically, she's beating everybody that's put in front of her. She's basically cleaning up the women's division.
Yeah, I think honestly though, she needs to drop that title, then just go for the straight up AEW championship. AEW
Right.
Women's Championship. I think that would be more suitable for her to do. Go for that title and let her have a reign in that department. You feel me? Because if you look at it, the TBS Championship is becoming a laughing stock because nobody's taking that title seriously. Same thing with the TNT Championship. That's becoming a laughing stock because that's not even taken seriously. And both of them titles, they need to be changed because why would y'all want to make them titles after a network?
Exactly.
It's
It's called the TV title. That's basically what it is.
It's just dumb. And then like AEW needs to have more titles for AEW, where Ring of Honor needs to stay where it's at with Ring of Honor. Like the Blackpool Combat Club needs to just go to Ring of Honor because they holding the Pure Championship and the Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, because I mean, of course, Cesaro, aka Claudio. I mean, he has like the Ring of Honor title, but he's still fighting on AEW. So of course, I know he's still part of the BCC, but still, like. But here's the thing with the Ring of Honor side. I mean, with the TV deal, it's like on a streaming service like that Honor Club. It's like I'm not gonna waste my money paying that every week just to watch them.
Yeah, and honestly, that Ring of Honor is basically boring. I saw one episode before on YouTube, and I was just like, yeah, it's boring. It's just bad. Like, it's really bad.
Yeah, like of course, going back to the one because we mentioned it earlier with the Outcast, like to me, there's just a knockoff version of NWO/DX. Like they got DX's colors, but the whole spray can tactics is basically NWO. It was like, come on, this is not it's nothing original. I like the concept, the outsider versus like the homegrown, the hometown stuff like that, but still, it's not going anywhere. It's like whoever they face, I beat him down, they get the spray can, and then here comes Jamie Red Baker and Jamie Hayter and somebody else like trying to go save somebody.
Yeah, but honestly though, Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker, they are so over with the crowd. They should just remain faces instead of heels.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Britt Baker as a heel, but that's something. She's a good tweener, but I mean, I like her better as a heel.
Yeah, but they're not gonna put her as a heel because she's over with the crowd, so the crowd gonna love her. So she's gonna stay a face for a minute.
Yeah.
And then not only that though, the Outcasts, they just basically former WWE employees and stuff. And honestly, like Ruby Soho, she more suitable better being in WWE than AEW for real.
Yeah, because I could probably see her go back one day when her contract runs out. Probably reform the Riot Squad, something like that, or just go back there on our own and just try to go for the women's titles.
Exactly, but I'm just like the women's division is like in shambles over at AEW. The tag team, like the only thing that's good about AEW is the tag team division.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's good about AEW with this tag team division. They don't have no top baby faces there. They don't like the only top heel there is MJF, and next year he's going to be doing a contract situation. But I think MJF is better suitable to stay in AEW than WWE.
Yeah, because of his mouth. Because like coming the way he shoots and all that, it's like that's not good for the business on the WWE side. It's like he'd be better fit for either AEW or say he goes elsewhere. I say Impact or New Japan because his mouth is better fitted over there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But I'm gonna just keep it all the way real. When you look at, like I said, when you look at AEW right now, like I said, the honeymoon phase is over. AEW really don't have an identity because ever since Cody Rhodes left, and I got a
Yep.
feeling Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks they're going to end up leaving when their contract is up soon too.
Yep.
Because I think they're gonna jump ship to WWE too and form a faction with Cody Rhodes.
Right, but I mean, here's another scenario. Say like, say he does go to WWE. I mean, it'd be hard for Kenny as like he would not able to go to Japan.
It just depends on how the scheduling is.
Yeah, because he loves like the one thing I think he likes like doing about AEW is like he can go to Japan, like do some fights over there, or go to Impact. Like he can go elsewhere, but see if he goes to WWE, they'd be stricken for them. He won't able to go to Japan.
Yeah, but they kind of like fixed that up because if you look at Shinsuke Nakamura, he went to Japan and had that last matchup in Japan. And what is Carl Anderson? He still has obligations for New Japan, so he still have matchups going in New Japan. I think he got one coming up in like June or July.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah, that's probably why like the OC's only been doing house shows lately.
because they still got obligations in Japan. So hell, even Karrion Kross, he still got obligations to do some independent stuff too. So he's still why you think he hasn't been wrestling on TV as much because he's still doing obligations for other promotions too.
Yeah, but right now they're setting up the feud between him and Shinsuke.
Yeah, I think that's a good look though. That would be a good rivalry.
Yeah.
Honestly. See, that's what I'm saying. That they setting up good rivalries. That would be a great rivalry that can push both of them to the limit.
Yeah, well, right now, okay. In your opinion, like who's going to be the first challenger for Rhea Ripley?
Rhea Ripley. I wanted to be Raquel Rodriguez to be the first challenger, but she got the tag titles. That's a tough one. If I would have to put that in a sense, hell, I would actually would say, dang, that is tough, man. Because I know Charlotte Flair, she's taking some time off, so she's not gonna be back for a minute.
I mean, as of right now, I say it'd probably Zelina Vega probably be the first because with her and the LWO feuding with the Judgment Day, so she's going to challenge her to a match.
That'd be cool too, but if I
mean,
had to,
this probably be a warm up match for Rhea, but still like her first title defense. But like I said, who else is on there going to challenge her right now?
hell, I would like for me, in my opinion, I would have to say like leaning towards it, a good feud. That is tough though. I'm in my mind. I'm thinking of Natalia though. Natalia would be a good feud though, because Natalia can push Rhea Ripley to her limit.
Right, because I mean they both got experience, so I mean that she's the closest one, like legitimate. But I mean Lacey Evans, she's a heel. Xia Li heel.
Yeah, but I would want
Chelsea Green. They're both heels, so like.
Yeah, but I would want like the matchup that I want to see between Rhea Ripley. I want to see her versus Shayna Baszler. That would be a good match.
Right, but like I said, they're both heels, unless they could probably set it up. I mean, yeah, there's been occasions heel versus heel match. Of course, we saw Rhea versus Bayley. That was a cool one.
Yeah, but I could definitely see that rivalry. But right now, they're gonna be Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. They're gonna go for that tag team title. So I don't see that actually happening.
Yeah, but here's the thing: like both of them need to improve on the mic.
Facts. That is true.
I mean, they can get it done in the ring. It's just on their mic skills, piss poor.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But man, I would say Natalya versus Rhea Ripley, or whenever she come back, Alexa Bliss versus Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, but I mean, speaking of her, but I mean, even though we got the draft coming up on April 28th, stuff like that, but as for the time be up until the 28th, as right now, it's like who's gonna be the first challenger for Bianca Belair. It's like her and Asuka, continue their feud, or somebody else is gonna step up to the plate and challenge her for the title.
Honestly, I think Asuka going. I think Bianca Belair and Asuka going to continue that feud. They definitely going to continue that feud, and the reason why is because like right now that match between her and Bianca Belair at WrestleMania, that was one of the best matches that they actually done outside of the Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley match.
Yeah, because like to me, honestly, I thought Bianca was gonna drop it, to Asuka, so that way, hey, give somebody else like a chance, like to have a reign, so that way the fans won't turn on her for holding on to that title for too long.
Yeah, so I honestly think right now they're going to continue that feud for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, like to the folks out there, no, I'm not hating or throwing shade to Bianca. I mean, I love her, but like I said, I just don't want the fans and stuff like that turning on her for hanging on for that title for so long.
Like her, she's like the John Cena of the women's division with Bianca Belair. You know what I'm saying? So she like I remember when she was in NXT and she was a heel before, but she wasn't a good heel.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't a good heel at all. And then not only that, if you look at what we saw this past Raw with Becky Lynch,
Yeah,
she's going to have that feud, a long feud with Trish Stratus, or
right.
it might be Lita versus Trish Stratus again. So like that'd be crazy to do that type of match. But honestly, in my opinion, I honestly think Asuka and Bianca Belair should continue that feud.
Yeah, and of course you may get a little hint of damage control going to be breaking up because the Io Sky, and then she won her match, so basically she's going to get a title shot soon.
Yeah, but damage control not totally is going to break up. I think Bailey is going to get new crew members.
Right. Well,
Most
speaking of
likely,
that, yeah,
yeah.
let's go ahead and discuss the WWE draft. When of course, I mentioned it's April 28th on SmackDown. Then it's going to finish up on May 1st on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, who do you see who's going to go where and benefit and why?
Judgment Day going to go on SmackDown because of Rhea Ripley with the SmackDown title. You feel me? Bianca Belair going to stay on Raw. Roman Reigns, he's going to stay on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes going to stay on Raw. Street Profits going to stay on Raw. New Day is going to be drafted to Raw. Baron Corbin, he's going to go to Raw. Still stay on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Catz Moss, he's going to go to Raw. And Hit Row, they're going to go to Raw.
Yeah. Speaking of that, yeah, of course you haven't seen them in weeks, but they don't know what to build around them. But
they're gonna do some. They're gonna generate creative ideas from like I said. Once this whole deal is done with Endeavor and WWE, Triple H gonna have more control on the creative aspects of it.
right, because he's a big fan of tag teams. But
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but who do you see going to SmackDown?
On SmackDown side, Viking Raiders are gonna stay on SmackDown. One thing I know for certain is they're gonna give SmackDown their own championship in Raw. They're gonna do that. Like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're gonna stay on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. They just gonna have the SmackDown championships, and they're gonna do a tournament for the Raw championship. I got a feeling about that.
Right.
On SmackDown, on the women's side, LWO gonna end up going on staying on SmackDown along with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna continue that feud with Judgment Day. Bloodline gonna end up going to Bloodline gonna be kind of broken up because Solo Sikoa, he gonna end up going to Raw and Jay and Jimmy Uso, they gonna stay on SmackDown with Roman Reigns.
Right.
So I can see that Bloodline be kind of broken up. And Brock Lesnar, he's just gonna terrorize both Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, speaking of Brock, he loves to go off script a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. He can't never stay on script. Why you think like when Triple H took the realms of the Creative Control, they just script was a little bit looser.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I got a feeling Drew McIntyre, I think he's going to re-sign with WWE down the road.
Yeah, I'd say probably Triple H or whoever behind the scenes can probably give him an offer that he could refuse.
Mm-hmm. and Imperium's going to move to Raw, and who is the US? Oh yeah, Austin Theory. He's going to move to SmackDown.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Who else? I'm trying to think. They got a lot of wrestlers in WWE.
Yeah, because I think the Brawl and Bruce, I see him possibly moving to Raw.
Okay, and then not only that, I'm thinking about it. Braun Breaker, he's going to get called up, and he's going to go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes, he's going to stay in NXT. Pretty Deadly going to get called up, and they're going to end up going to Raw. And Cameron Grimes, he's going to go to Raw. Mustafa Ali's going to get moved to SmackDown. And Dolph Ziggler, he's going to get bumped down to NXT.
Right, because I mean, basically all he does is job at everybody.
Yeah, but something tell me though that Dolph Ziggler, he's gonna get a push down the road though. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get opportunity.
Yeah, I know. Just help him put everybody else over.
And then the Miz, he's gonna get a push for. He's gonna get moved to SmackDown, but I think he needs to have a rivalry with Austin Theory. They need a rivalry. That needs to happen. That would be a good rivalry.
You possibly see Steph staying on Raw or moving to SmackDown.
You said who?
Seth Rollins.
Oh, Seth Rollins, he's staying on Raw, man. Like he's one of the hottest wrestlers on Raw, so he's gonna stay on Raw. It don't make no sense for him.
Another thing, like since him and Becky are married, and Bianca and Montez Ford are married, they're trying not to split up the couple, so they're gonna stay, stick together.
Yeah, but don't be surprised if WWE ends up re-signing Naomi.
Oh yeah, Trinity Star.
Yeah, don't be surprised. Then Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné.
Yeah,
I think like after she's done with her tension, she's gonna re-signing back with WWE.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see that, for both of them, but we just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, but they can't. They like if they sign to AEW, they're gonna go through hell because the women's division is terrible there in AEW.
Exactly, but speaking of AEW, since they picked up a free agent. Of course, he's not really much of a free agent. That's Jay White because he's dropped through there a few times. Like I say to me, I mean AEW is probably a better fit to me because he's got peoples over there and things like that. But I mean, alternatively, he could possibly went to Impact. I just don't see him fit in WWE. Like
I agree.
Yeah, because he'd be lost in the shuffle. So basically, like. Go to AEW, go to Impact, or re-sign with New Japan. So basically, he has just those options right there. But WWE is just not one of them.
And I agree. And the reason why it's that is based off the fact that when it comes down to it, from what I read, WWE didn't have really any creative direction or where they wanted to go with Jay White. So AEW is a better fit, but I'm kind of worrisome about that too because he might get lost in the shuffle over there too.
Oh yeah, Juice Robinson.
Because they right now having a feud with Ricky Starks.
Yep.
And Ricky Starks, he's like the Rock of AEW.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So he needs a title. He needs to get another title shot with MJF too. That's my opinion. But down to the nitty gritty with AEW with Jay White, he's gonna fit, but down the road he'll get lost in the shuffle. He ain't gonna be happy. Like like I said, with Tony Khan and Vince McMahon and them, they don't need to sign any more wrestlers right now.
Exactly. They got way too many. And like I said, they got too many they're not using. It's like either just gonna use them as job enhancements or just have them faded out. Like on the AEW side, like whoever they had, they're barely not using at all. They're gonna be on Dark or Elevation. Or the WWE side, they'll probably be on Main Event or probably just doing house shows.
And then there's been rumors of Matt Cardell.
Yeah.
He might end up signing with WWE to be to help Cody Rhodes out.
Yeah, of course his wife is there too.
So he's going to sign with WWE. That's obvious. But he's not going to be signing as Zack Ryder. He's going to go as his name, Matt Cardell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see that happening. But when it comes down to AEW, they don't need to sign no more talent. They good as it is on Ring of Honor and AEW. Only thing they need to work on heavy is fixing that women's division even more. Like, don't get me wrong, the Outcast is it's picking up steam as a faction, but they need more wrestlers over there, like, to really be suitable for them. I know Kenny Omega, he helps out on the women's division, but they need to do so much more there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because like speaking on the women's side, I was like, probably in the future, I'll probably see Willow Nightingale probably get a push and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. Like,
Here's the thing, like, okay, before getting with, of course, I met her in person, real cool personality, things like that. I was like, I can see you giving her a push, but however, it's like, Sky Blue, she now just got her all elite status, but still, she's just been, putting other wrestlers over.
yeah, but the newer ones, they're gonna end up getting pushes. They deserve it. Like Willow Nightingale, dang, she fine in my opinion. But but at the end of the day, though, like honestly though, she needs a push. Sky Blue, she needs a push. Like there's a lot of like even Rio, she needs to get a new push.
Right, because I mean, she only held the title one time. She hadn't got it back since.
Mm-hmm. Like okay, with Nyla Rose.
Yeah.
Nyla Rose needs to go to Ring of Honor.
Yep.
Not suitable for AEW anymore.
Yeah, because Nina, man, it's like she's just lost in the shuffle over there.
There's a lot of wrestlers lost in the shuffle over there. Like FTR, honestly, they should have just left and went to WWE.
I mean, I would love to see him come back to WWE, but not in the condition that they're in right now. It's like if they were going to leave AEW, I was like either they'll go to Impact or go to Japan, New Japan, like one of those two. Probably just go over there for a while, then probably slip in WWE.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like right now, I'm telling you this: the best wrestler show on TV right now is NXT.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion because they actually got stories they're telling, got legit rivalries, got great matches over there. When it comes to Raw and SmackDown, Raw is starting to go back to how it was when Vince McMahon would help with creativity.
B show and SmackDown's like starting to become the C show.
Yeah, right now, yeah. The A show is NXT, the B show is Raw, and the C show is SmackDown. And SmackDown yesterday was terrible.
Yes.
It was 100% terrible. Just none of that didn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's like the whole Judgment Day versus the LWO, but the thing with Ray and Dominic is like their promos suck.
Absolutely. And then on Raw, you see now Bobby Lashley, he got a rivalry with Bronson Reed, which I think that's a good rivalry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's good. That's a good storyline. But it just like what that's like mid card status. You understand? Yeah. And Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed are more on main card roster, main card. Yeah, they're main eventers type of wrestlers. So honestly, WWE need more championships on their platform too. They need more mid card type of championships.
All right, let's go ahead and discuss this, and that is the American Nightmare. And it's like, all right, because but before we get into that, let's start with WrestleMania. What led into what happened to Cody after that? So basically, like, okay, I watched the event. To me, night one was better than night two.
Facts.
I mean, it's like, night one had like one match I didn't really care for, but the other matches were great, But I mean, the one match I didn't care for was Austin Theory and John Cena. I was like, I didn't care.
That match was terrible.
Yeah. I mean, to me, they really do nothing really for Theory. I mean, yeah, you beat John Cena, whoopie freaking do, but after that, what has it really done for you? It's like, what was really the gain? Of course, I know you're in the now. It's like, hey, I beat the 16-time champ. I was like, okay, yeah, and like we gonna go after next. So anyways, like the tag team, the men's fatal 4-way tag team, that was great, and then I'm cool that the Street Profits won. Oh, the Rhea Ripley Charlotte Flair match, that was great.
Absolutely.
And I even enjoyed the Ray and Dominic match. It's like it was so cool when he finally got that belt off. He started, whipping his ass, and with that belt, it's like everybody was waiting on that.
Facts.
Yeah, but That was great. Of course, Bad Bunny getting involved and stuff. To me, I thought Ray was going to lose that match. Like he was going to put his son over.
Nah, I think honestly though, with the Ray versus Dominic feud after that WrestleMania joint, that's gonna last until probably SummerSlam.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think they're gonna do a Maz versus Hair match.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely see that happen around SummerSlam. But when it comes down to the best match of the night, again, that was that Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley matchup. I think the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos matchup, it was good.
Yeah.
But the way that it ran, it was kind of like suspect in a way. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad they won, but they really need to split them tag team titles. Like, let Raw have their tag team titles and SmackDown have their tag team titles. Yeah. And I think they're going to do that with the draft.
Yeah, but now just move on to night 2. And the women's favorite four-way tag team four-way, that was like a snooze fest. Like that's like a bathroom break match.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I mean, I enjoyed the Bianca Asuka match. Oh, the Edge and Finn Balor Demon. I enjoyed that match.
Oh, let's talk about that. That match right there in particular, the Edge and Finn Balor matchup.
Yeah.
That matchup, it was cool, but it wasn't great. And I'm gonna say why. The reason why I say it wasn't good in a way is because the way that the time of it ran and the way that Finn Balor just bled out like that.
Yep.
I feel like, that match right there, it could have been so much better, and it could have had more of a wow factor to it. Like the way the coordinates and movement in that whole match, you could see it was very predictable.
Right.
So that's why I was like, we knew that Edge was going to win the match because everything that was going on in the match was very predictable. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to feel like you never knew what was going to happen, but it was a predictable match.
Right.
You know?
And then, of course, let me talk about the major disappointments, All right, I got tired of seeing like the replays of like, oh, what happened, to so-and-so. Like, okay, we've seen it 1,000 times. Like, why put that in there? Like, I mean, you should have flowed better. Should have just moved on to the next segment. And speaking of the next segment, like the way Shane McMahon came back, he got hurt. Like I was like, okay, that was unexpected, but why was it there just to take on the Miz? And of course, Snoop Dogg had to come save the day, but he gave that whack people's elbow on the Miz and stuff like. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I mean, he did something to make up for it, but still, like that was just a waste of time.
Yeah, but that was on the fly because honestly, Snoop Dogg wasn't supposed to do none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Shane McMahon tore his quad just like his father.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm glad though that Shane McMahon made up with his family, so that was all that mattered.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, question is he back with the company or is just a one-off appearance? So I mean, who knows?
Well, he got a weed company, so like he ain't really trying to get back in WWE like that.
No.
Like he got about like 2-3 more matches within him. So.
Right. And now we can talk about the main event. Cody and Roman.
Yeah.
I mean, it was predictable too because, like, okay, Paul Heyman's outside of the ring. Then Solo Sikoa, he got involved the first time. He got caught and got booted. Then towards the end, here he comes again. The moment he gave him that spike, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. The moment he won, I call BS on that. I was like, oh man, I was like, who came up with this idea? But then I kind of realized, like, okay, this was just, get started. It was like, hey, the story's not really over. It's just like this, still gonna continue it. Nothing like, but at the same time, I was like, dang it. I wanted Roman to drop that title. He's had it for 2 years. That's way too long. But I guess they had a plan in there, like, hey, he's going to hang on to it for a little bit longer up until he'll drop it probably at the next PLE that he'll show up in. So right now he's going to hold it hostage until he shows up to the next PLE.
Which is most likely in June. Mm-hmm. Because I know they got Backlash on May 6th. I think either May 6th or May 8th.
No, it's May the 6th.
Okay, I said it right the first time. May 6th.
Then
So
don't forget Night of Champions on May 27th.
dang, they got two pay-per-views that month next month.
Yep. You
That's
got
crazy.
Backlash in Puerto Rico. Then you go back to Saudi Arabia for Night of Champions, which was originally supposed to be King and Queen of the Ring.
They switched up King of the Queen of the Ring.
Yep.
Hold on, no, King of the Queen of the Ring. That's supposed to be way later in the year.
No, that was supposed to be next month, but it got renamed to Night of Champions.
Oh, they might just do the King and Queen of the Ring right then and there too that night too.
Yes.
But though, I think if they're doing that in Saudi Arabia, I think that would be the best time for Roman Reigns to drop that title to Cody Rhodes because I think after the match, I think honestly with Night of Champions, which we won't get back to the Cody Rhodes getting buried, but I think after the Night of Champions, I think Cody Rhodes is going to beat Brock Lesnar, then Cody Rhodes is going to go back after Roman Reigns.
Right.
You know, but
like,
no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, just like I'm saying that the way that Brock Lesnar just turned heel out of a sudden, just the way he destroyed Cody Rhodes in that Raw is like everybody had a like what what the F moment. It's like that was unexpected. It was like and the way he buried him like that, and then now they're setting up this feud like for Backlash. Okay, it's like how long is this gonna last? Because I know Brock Lesnar's just a roadblock, for Cody just to get that rematch.
Honestly though, that was very predictable on that with that tag match. That was very predictable. I had a feeling Brock Lesnar was going to turn heel. That's predictable, and that was all Vince McMahon's doing.
Yeah, because he's buddies with him.
Mm-hmm. That to me was one of the dumbest decisions that Vince McMahon ever made.
Right.
That was dumb. Like, why would you want to bury Cody Rhodes? But then I came to realization that's to, put in position for Cody Rhodes to be that one force that could kind of be unstoppable, that can really redeem itself to face against Roman Reigns again.
Right.
So that's the way I looked at it. But I still felt like it was a retarded decision for Vince McMahon to do that. You heard me? I think that was really an idiotic move on their part. But I think honestly, Cody Rhodes will beat Brock Lesnar at Backlash, and I think they will have that matchup between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. But I think with that matchup, they will have a stipulation like Cody Rhodes might do a match against probably Solo Sikoa or whatever. If he wins, nobody cannot interfere in that match or something like that. Like Paul Heyman, nobody cannot interfere in that match. If anybody interferes, Roman Reigns loses the title.
Exactly, because Roman he can't win the match by himself without his family or the wise man helping him out.
Yeah, and that's been like that for 2 years. Like majority of his matches, he cannot win without any of them. And Roman Reigns kind of Cody Rhodes kind of put him on Front Street about that too. He cannot win. Cannot win a match without his family, and he just proved that within WrestleMania.
Right, your cousins and all three of your cousins interfered, plus the wise man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's exciting to see, but at the same time, like my fault. Let me get back to the Cody Rhodes now. Like I said, with Cody Rhodes getting buried, you know what I'm saying? It's for a purpose. It's still trying to tell that story. Right. So that's why Cody Rhodes is right now is still one of the hottest wrestlers in WWE right now.
Right. I mean, not just popularity, but also in merch.
Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna go off subject for a second. But the wrestler that everybody want to see come back right now is Bray Wyatt. Everybody's waiting for Bray Wyatt to return.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's gonna return. He's gonna continue that feud with Bobby Lashley. You know what I'm saying? At some point. But back on Cody Rhodes. With Cody Rhodes, he's gonna still be that anchor to push forward with the rivalry with Roman Reigns to take the title off of him.
Yep. I mean, I can see that happening. But I mean, like I said, I say to me, if he was gonna get that title off of Roman Reigns, it'd probably be either SummerSlam. Because it's not going to be next month. I mean, because Roman's not going to lose that title so soon.
You never know, though. That's why I say you never know. And the reason why I say that is because, like, Saudi Arabia, either Saudi Arabia or SummerSlam, that's like the two perfect places for Roman Reigns to drop the title.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he's been having it for almost 1,000 days.
Exactly, and he only wrestles whenever he wants to. So basically, he's not going to be at every PLE. Probably just the major ones.
And not having a full-time championship on that caliber, that's bad for business on WWE side.
Exactly.
So he's going to eventually have to drop the title between uh us the Night of Champions or SummerSlam. Between that time frame, he has to drop that title, because if not, that's bringing a lot of bad business to WWE. Look at Raw. Like USA Network been said though that they need a major championship on Raw, and Roman Reigns rarely bees on he's rarely on Raw.
I mean, he's barely on SmackDown too.
Exactly. So that's not good business. And Vince McMahon and Triple H, they're not understanding that. They are going to lose a lot. That's why they've been losing a lot of money. Their stocks been going down and all types of stuff.
Right.
So, like I said, Cody Rhodes seems the perfect candidate to be there.
Yeah, because you got a guy who'll defend his title. He'll show up, not just take off whenever he feels like it.
Absolutely, but in my opinion, like I said, once Cody Rhodes wins, I think he needs to the Universal title needs to go vacate to go on SmackDown. Somebody could win that title. Same thing with the tag team championships. Somebody can take one of the tag teams, like the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, can take either the Raw or SmackDown titles and go where they at, and the other title can go vacated on either Raw or SmackDown. Somebody could have a tournament. Those are tournaments for the purpose. But Cody Rhodes, he's more suitable to stay on Raw than SmackDown.
Right.
That's just 100% facts.
Yeah, it's like, to me, in your opinion, what about the tag team division? I know we're gonna mention the Usos, like, but let's just leave them out for the time being. But we'll talk about the other tag teams, and who would probably need a push.
Who probably needs a push? I'm always gonna say Street Profits for number one, but number two, the tag team from LWO.
Oh, Legado del Fantasma.
And number three, the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
Number four, the OC.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the top four I see that really needs that push, especially the OC. They definitely need that push.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you right now, if the OC, whenever the OC does come back, they definitely need to go ahead and give them that push. They deserve that push.
Right.
Besides
probably later this year, probably when AJ ever comes back, when he'll.
Oh yeah, he's coming back.
Yeah, because I mean, like the way, of course, Meechin, she's been showing up, but however, she's been jobbing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because they don't have anything for her. Like, she just shows up, like she's happy to have the screen time, but probably getting disappointed she's not getting any W's.
Yeah, but honestly, that would have been a good title match between her and Bianca Belair, though.
Right.
That would have been a good matchup, because in NXT, when they had their rivalry there too, that was actually dope as hell. They actually battled. I think Meechin, she up 2-1 against Bianca Belair.
Yep.
So that'd be a good look, but the way it's looking, I don't know.
All right. Of course, Gunther, because him and Xavier Woods, they're gonna have their fight for the title. So I mean, Gunther, don't get me wrong, he's great. Especially he got a heel champion, he defends it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not knocking skills on the ring.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about him?
To me, Gunther, he's not going to be Intercontinental title for long, but he's valuable to WWE.
Yeah.
Because what took the cake for him was when he did that triple threat match with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Like, he held his own in that match. So that's what kind of got him over. You know what I'm saying? He's still a heel, but he's starting to get over with the fans.
Yeah.
And with him, he's going to be that star for the WWE for a long time. But everybody want to see that matchup between Gunther and Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Everybody want to see that matchup, but it's just that Vince McMahon and Triple H don't see that.
No, they don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, but if they do that, man, let it be at WrestleMania.
Right.
That would be. I ain't gonna lie, that would be a one hell of a match, though.
But to me, like with the IC title and the US title, don't get me wrong, Theory, he's good as a heel, but out of the two, I put my money on Gunther over Austin Theory.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. To me, if you look at Austin Theory, they grooming him like John Cena because when John Cena came in the game, they was booing him crazy.
Yep.
So they're doing the same thing with him, and then they eventually he's going to get over.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just like how they doing with Dominic Mysterio. He's right now, he's one of the hottest acts on WWE right now. Even though he's being booed and stuff like that right now, but he's being talked about, and he's going to end up becoming a mega star in WWE.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But as of terms of right now with Gunther is right now is one of the most talked about wrestlers in WWE because him and Imperium, they're doing a phenomenal job of what they're doing. So, you know, he's gonna be talked about for a long time. But I think a good matchup also is between Gunther and Roman Reigns. Those would be a good matchup between those two.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, Gunther. I mean, not Gunther, but Roman's went through everybody except Gunther. It's like, I mean, who's gonna be left?
Exactly.
I mean, I know a rematch. I know there's gonna be a rematch between him and Cody, but Roman's just basically buried everybody else that he's faced.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm looking at Night of Champions as the spot for Cody Rhodes and that Roman Reigns matchup because right now they don't have really anybody that can go against Roman Reigns right now.
Exactly.
And then not only that, Roman Reigns, he still haven't had a match against Bobby Lashley neither. You know what I'm saying? So looking at it right now, it could either be Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley at Night of Champions or Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at Night of Champions. I'm looking at it's going to be most likely Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way I'm looking at it.
The rematch.
Huh?
That's what everyone wants to see is the rematch.
Yeah, but I think that's that stipulation that should be. Nobody cannot interfere in that matchup because if anybody interferes in that matchup, Roman Reigns loses the titles.
Exactly. But well, to take a breather from AEW and WWE, let's discuss Impact.
Okay.
All right, now Mickie James, she just like relinquished the title because due to her injury. And of course, she left her a cowboy hat and everything, the title in the ring. So people are speculating, okay, is she gonna retire for good, or she just needed time off just to heal up and things like that? Well, what do you think?
I think she's just giving time off to heal, but I think when she come back, she's gonna have a new persona.
Yep.
I don't think she retiring like right now. The thing about it is her contract is almost up at Impact.
Yep.
So either she, I don't think she retiring. She might end up either going to AEW or WWE.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, Trish Stratus, she's back, and Lita, she's back, and they wrestling. So I could see her either coming back as a new persona in Impact or going to AEW or WWE, one of the two.
Yeah. I don't see her, dropping by NWA because now that her husband's not there anymore.
Dang, I forgot about NWA. NWA Power is still on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, last time I seen it.
Yeah, but NWA is really not popping like that. Nobody ain't really talking about NWA like that.
But other than that, speaking with New Japan, because in June's for the next Forbidden Door. Interesting what the card's going to be though, but because hey, if my boy Tanahashi's going to be on the card, I definitely want to watch.
He most likely will. And then the Bullet Club, they gonna come together and do some crazy.
Yeah, them and Aussie Open.
Then Will Ospreay, he's gonna end up having a match. I want to see a rematch between him and Kenny Omega.
Right. For the IWGP title.
That'll definitely be a good matchup for sure.
Yep. That would be awesome. But let's talk about Jeff Hardy. About his. What are your thoughts about that?
About him returning to AEW?
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is he better not mess this up.
Oh yeah, that's what Bully Ray said. The same thing. Said, of course, quoting him, he said he better not fuck up this opportunity.
Seriously, he don't, because this is actually his last shot. Honestly, if he messes up again, and they release him, nobody ain't gonna want to pick him up.
No, because he's too high risk.
Uh-huh. He's too high risk, and he's always relapsing off of the drugs or pills or whatever.
Right.
And he's always in trouble with the law. So it's just like he might get inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame, true. But with him being back in AEW, they'll give him a shot to go for the tag team titles. And then not only that, they really gotta keep him in line where he ain't gonna mess up again. You gotta stay on the straight and narrow. So that's why like he cannot mess up at all. Period.
Yeah, because like when Tony Khan he laid down the law, like it's like, hey, look, we're gonna pay for your rehab, or we're suspending you without pay and stuff like that until you get yourself clean.
Mm-hmm.
You get clean, yeah, you got to submit drug tests, make sure that you stay clean. Stuff.
Mm-hmm. But also they making it more. It's like the way Tony Khan doing it. They're more strict on him about that. And I think that's a good thing that they're doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he got to get himself together. Because at this point, if he doesn't get himself together, he'll be in a situation where like no wrestling promotion wants to pick him up.
Yep.
Look, huh?
Probably not even the Indies don't want to touch him.
Yeah, like if you remember back in the day with Jeff Hardy, he had a match with Sting in Impact. At the time, it was called TNA.
Yeah.
And he was high as a kite during that match.
Yes, they had to carry him to the ring.
Mm-hmm. And like I remember that match, man. That was terrible, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That was like downright awful.
Yep.
And Sting said himself he was mad. He was pissed after that. You know what I'm saying? So exactly. So with him being in AEW and he's there with Sting again, like seriously, Jeff Hardy better not mess this up. He better like finish his contract out, do what he got to do, get his money because. And not only that, they extended his contract because of him being in rehab and doing all what he did, and he just had eye surgery.
Yep.
So he really cannot mess this up. He has to go do the diligence and make himself a star all over again. Because right now he's not really a star like that. He got to build himself back up.
Yeah, right now, like him and the firm, they got that match over at the Hardy's house.
Mm-hmm. And then not only that, let's talk about one person, CM Punk. I know we gotta go before we go. CM Punk real fast.
All right.
Now with CM Punk, there he's close to returning back to AEW.
Right.
But from what was told is he's trying to make amends with everybody. He ain't trying to beef with nobody.
Yeah, that remains to be seen because, like like I know he wants to make amends with the elite and stuff like that, but I mean that remains to be seen. But however, like with the elite about their status is like they still haven't put pen to paper. Like I mean, for Kenny Omega, of course, he's on the contract until the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Because they extended because he was hurt and stuff like that. Like I don't know about the contract status for the Young Bucks. Like I don't know like when their contracts are about to expire. Or, because like I said, all three of them haven't renewed their contracts yet.
Yeah, but the way it looks, like I said, I think Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, I don't think they're going to stay in AEW for long.
Yeah, I think probably. To me, I think Kenny will probably go back to Japan because I mean he loves it out there, and he has a home out there, and he knows the language. But if he ever goes to WWE, ever makes him an offer he couldn't refuse, like hey, you could possibly see him back in WWE, but him and the Bucks. But that remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, but honestly, if they go to WWE, they're gonna make the moves that what they're doing a little bit more stricter though. Like how how they got high flyers in WWE.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the high flyers in WWE compared to AEW, AEW is more reckless when it comes to flying moves. When it comes to WWE, they are more stricter with high flying moves.
Exactly, because like there was that one match I think it was on Rampage. I think one of the guys from Top Flight, I think it was Dante Martin, where he got hurt on that ladder. I was like, ooh. And JR called somebody out on that. I was like, really? He seriously hurt doing something like that.
Yeah, he called Tony Khan out on that.
Yep.
He called Tony Khan on that. But the way I'm looking at it right now is like AEW gonna have to really get it together in that sense. Like they definitely gonna have to get it together.
You need better booking and stuff like that, better feuds and stuff. Like WWE, same with them. It's like both of them need to get together, like with their booking.
Facts.
But as far as like, let's get back to CM Punk. But I mean, say he does come back, but I mean, of course, there was probably talk about because we mentioned about the separate rosters. Like CM Punk goes to Ring of Honor, and then I guess the other people stay on the other show. That way, there's no feud, there's no bad blood and stuff like that. It's like these possibly see that happening, or just they're still trying to make amends and try to move forward for when he ever comes back.
Honestly, I think they're gonna push CM Punk straight back to the top of going against MJF if he's still top champion.
Right, because I mean, I think it's supposed to be coming to Chicago soon.
Yeah, when that happens,
I think it's like either Dynamite probably later this month. It's like they're gonna be back in Chicago. It's like that was possibly probably use that as a possibility for him returning, but I mean, who knows?
If he comes back to Chicago, that'd be a good look. But the way it's looking to me is he might down the road feud again with MJF for the title, but at the same time, I actually see more show of it'll be Kenny Omega versus CM Punk.
Right. Yeah, of course. There's another thing about CM Punk. He can't stay healthy.
No.
I mean, both times he's won the title, then both times he had to relinquish it because of injuries.
Exactly. And he's only 42, so honestly, he just needs to be a podcaster. He don't need to do no wrestling.
Right. And like I said, Jeff Hardy's older than him. It's like, Jeff Hardy, he's done more wear and tear on his body than CM Punk.
Absolutely. Like, if you remember that match, I think it was Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin, I think. Yeah. And you saw how high Darby Allin flew off that ladder?
Yeah.
That's a lot of pain.
Oh, that's a lot of pain. That's like extreme pain. I was like, dude, I don't see how you get out of bed in the morning.
Exactly. That's pain. Like, for real.
Yeah, but other than that, do you have any other topics you want to discuss?
Not this go around, but I know next month's podcast is going to be some topics to talk about.
Right.
For sure.
All right. Yeah, with that being said, folks, before we head on out of here, Kano, go ahead and tell them, where they can find you at.
Yes, y'all can find me on all my social media on Twitter, Instagram, and everything on at Real KAYOKANO. We do have the gamer section that we host on Sundays at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. It'd be lit. You hear me? And follow on all social media at the gamer section. And like I said, I think we're gonna start social media stuff for the Beyond the Ring stuff. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for all that what we got coming, man. And thanks for y'all tuning into the podcast. If you haven't tuned in right now, I know you're gonna watch it later. So keep supporting it or what we're doing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, like I said, this is your boy Sinister. You can follow me on my social by social media, of course, by Conchu19. That's my Twitter handle, and of course on Instagram it's Sinister1019. And yeah, so yeah, hope you tune in tomorrow to the Gamer Section podcast. Me and Kano and others, discuss gaming and stuff like that. But for now, this is just a wrestling thing for us. So other than that, hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend, y'all. Peace.
Peace.